Hey guys, welcome back. It's Josh with the Financial Advisor Car Guy. This week I wanted to talk to you a little bit about the exotic car market and the world that we're living in. As you're probably well aware, there's a very likely recession looming kind of overhead, and probably after the first of the year, we're gonna be more or less in an official recession. With that comes a lot of uncertainty to the car market, especially cars that are not in heavy demand. You know, don't think of the Honda Accords and the Toyota Corollas. Think of the Audi R8s or the Lamborghini Huracans or the Ferrari whatevers, okay? Think of supercars, think of more high-end exotics, think of cars that are more one-off, but not even that. I would just say the higher range vehicles. Think of, you know, the Dodge Challenger Hellcats. Think of the Ford F-150 Raptors as opposed to the regular F-150. All the higher trim, all the higher levels, those cars that are made in a little bit lower quantity, more limited numbers, always have a certain amount of following, but are also the first cars that people are not looking to buy when they're trying to pull in the reins and kind of watch their dollars. So as we approach recession, as we approach an economic slowdown and pullback, I think there's going to be some serious good deals out there on some of these cars. So if you're in the market for one of them, be patient. That's step number one, be patient. Number two, there's a lacking inventory. You know, there's a lot of people that aren't necessarily parting ways with these cars because maybe they overpaid a year or two or three ago. Really in the last couple of years, as you're well aware, the used car market, we've discussed it a bunch, the used car market definitely has seen a fluctuation in sales price, right? I mean, the secondary car market has been really small. We've seen used cars selling for top dollar really for a couple of years now. And so with that in mind, you know, realize that the inventory controls the secondary price. So a standard F-150, there's, you know, hundreds, if not thousands of them available for sale right down the street in my own hometown or within a couple of, you know, miles radius. There's a lot of just generic F-150s, but there's only like 3 Ford Raptors. So if someone's in the market for a Raptor, the opportunity is such that they're willing to pay a little bit more and they don't have the same selection. Without that same selection, you don't have quite as much negotiation power. If I'm looking for a silver F-150, not a Raptor, just a base model F-150, literally there's probably a dozen in my town to choose from. I basically just go from dealer to dealer and say, this is what I'm willing to give you for it. If you're not good with that, I'm gonna go down the street to the next guy. But if I want a blue Ford Raptor, there might only be one for sale, if any. And if that's the case, I'm at the mercy of what they're asking because I don't have the power to negotiate like I would under a different circumstance. Does that make sense? Hopefully. Now, the next step, step 3, is financing. Right now, cash is king. If you pay cash for something, your negotiation power is a little bit better. I would suggest that you don't have to pay full price. And if you do, it's because there's a demand for that particular item. But if you've got cash in your pocket and you're not subject to interest rates, it doesn't matter that a new car is costing 6 or 7% or that a used car is 8 or 9% if you're borrowing money. Things have changed quickly. 2 or 3 years ago, you could borrow money from the bank and finance a car for pennies. I mean, I'm serious, like 1%, 2%. There were some manufacturers offering 0% interest for 60 or 72 or 84 months. That's unheard of right now. Right now, you are not seeing incentives like that. You're not seeing cash rebates. You're not seeing people or dealerships marking money off MSRP prices. In fact, we're still seeing cars go for above MSRP, crazy dealer adjustments or market adjustments or whatever you want to call it. We're just living in a crazy world. So going back to the inventory level of supercars, there's not a lot out there. People overpaid, they don't want to take a hit on them. So they're going to sit on them, they're going to live with them, they're going to drive them, they're going to enjoy them. Or should, you know, crap hit the fan and people need to liquidate, they're going to do that at a substantial loss. That's where you can swoop in and steal an amazing car at hopefully a really reasonable price. Timing is everything. And again, cash is king. So if I'm working with somebody who's got a Ferrari and they, you know, maybe they paid $350 for it, and the economy is falling and they need that money for something else. Now, if they paid cash for it, they're less likely to probably need to sell it, if that makes sense. But if they have financed it and they just want to get some equity out, the chances are they're going to want to sell it at even a little bit of a loss or what they owe. That's not uncommon. You'll see cars for sale for what people owe. And it's not as simple as just taking over the payments, but many times, again, that 350 example of a Ferrari, if they put 50,000 down and they still owe, let's say 250, they've made maybe 50,000 in payments. If they owe 250, but the car is retailing for 380 or 280, they might just take 250, be the cheapest one out there just to get out from under it. And, no longer do they have that $3,000 or $4,000 a month payment. So I would say that the desirability, or not the desirability, the desirability to get out of a loan is much greater than somebody who, again, paid cash for a vehicle and doesn't necessarily need to take less if they don't have to. If it's a cash flow thing, someone who has payments is going to want to get out of that car before someone who doesn't have payments. So that's something you really want to consider and look at when you're shopping, is see if the seller says, title in hand, or there's a lien against it with my bank. Most people are pretty upfront. If they give you the VIN number, there's actually a way you can Google the VIN and find out if there's a lien against the car. You might not be able to find the details of the loan, but you'll at least know if a bank truly holds the title or if the seller does. Those are some quick tips. There's a whole bunch more that goes into it, but I'm just suggesting people really pull back. Don't run out and try to find the right deal right now. If it's out there, great. But realize that the value of cars is probably going to continue to fall a little bit on these high-end supercars. I don't necessarily think they're going to plummet. They'll never depreciate the same way as that Honda Accord or that Toyota Corolla, but do know that they don't have as wide of a market. There's not as many people looking for a Lamborghini as there are for a Honda. Bottom line. So again, you're somewhat limited in not only the inventory, but also your audience, right? If I try to sell my R8 today, I might have a little bit of a problem because it's not as expensive as a Lamborghini or a high-end Ferrari or any of those things, but there aren't as many people out there looking either. And those that have cash and are probably looking for a deal. I'm not ready to give mine up for a deal. So all in all, I think that it's important to just be patient, be aware, know what's happening, know what's out there. If you're in the market for a Ferrari or a Lamborghini, your time is coming. I really believe that. I really do think that the market will soften a little bit and give you an opportunity. But again, don't finance a $300,000 car at 9%. I mean, that's just foolish. So make sure you've either got cash or incredible credit and you can work a deal. It's very unlikely to have like an owner carried car. I've not seen that, but I suppose that's a possibility you could explore. I still don't think the market's right for leasing, especially on a high-end car like that. You're just throwing money away. So I would say either pay cash or find some bank that's going to give you a really low interest rate still if you can, or be patient and wait. Do not pay 10% for a car that is a luxury item, that is an enjoyable weekend car. Unless it's your daily driver, even then, don't pay 10% for financing. But it's exceptionally and especially important if it's not your daily driver, you should not be paying that kind of money for something that's just going to sit in your garage. I'm drawing a blank real quick, but I think my interest rate on my R8's 2.9%. That's ridiculously low in today's world. I mean, I have money sitting in my savings account at my own office, right, at my own work, earning 3.85 today. So cash money, money markets are paying 3% or better. They should be anyway. If they're not, let me know. I can help you. But even 1-year CDs are paying about 5% right now. So if you're borrowing at less than that, great, you're winning. If you're paying more than that, 7, 8, 9, 10%, I'd pump the brakes. I would wait till things level out. The car market's not going to go away. Again, there's going to be deals to be had, but don't rush into anything. I would be patient, watch your pennies, pay attention to the trends in the market. If you get a steal, jump on it, because I think that really when the economy straightens itself back out and comes out of all this, I very, very seriously think that the car market, the exotic car market especially, but the high-end, one-off, more exclusive models are always going to hold their value a whole bunch better than your run-of-the-mill economy car. So if you can buy an R8 today for $70,000, not a bad deal, because in a couple of years, it might be a $90,000 car again. So, take it for what it's worth. Again, these are not necessarily financial practices. These are just some ideas for you. If you're in the market, pay attention, watch, wait, ask questions. I am constantly analyzing this stuff. I can help you make sense of what you cannot figure out. But my question to you guys is, what do you think the car market's gonna do? Do you think it's gonna hold on the way it has been? Do you think we're destined to see higher prices over time? Or do you think that the market will fall a little bit? Used car prices might come down, new car prices might come down. What do you think? I mean, literally, I am just one guy. I am not all-knowing when it comes to the car market. I speak from my own experiences buying and selling and just kind of what I watch and see. But my opinion is my opinion, and that is kind of what it is. I'm curious to know what your thoughts are. So comment down below. Please like, subscribe, share this stuff. Make sure that you're able to ask questions. I mean, I'm available to you all, so please shoot me an email. Feel free to just comment and I'll message you back. But most importantly, remember, may every investment you make be a good one. Till next time.